Right.
And whether they'll decide whether it's a theft or a civil issue.
Sure, I understand.
And then if they decline to prosecute it, because one, you're going to have a difficult time, even if they say, yeah, I think there's a theft here, proving it. Because did Matt take it?
Wait, let's back up, sir. Number one, we all know that testimony is what proves things. The testimony can prove there was an assault where there's nothing that shows it. So don't say it's going to be a hard time of proving it. You don't even know whether Matt went in there. What you know is he got some for medication.
He did go there to pick up property.
He got some for medication. You don't know whether Chelsea gave it to him or how he got it. But this would not be
right. But you're also saying that we don't know if he actually took any of the other stuff.
No, all the stuff was in the van. And Chelsea told me they made a special dump run to the Casellas where you push everything out the back, which is the one on Route 2. So what we know is that they retained stuff. They had never been told by Melody that she didn't want it. That's an absolute lie. And so she lied to you about that.
Okay, but all this information is basically just hearsay.
No,
it's you calling me a liar, basically.
Yeah, it's not hearsay.
Telling you.
It is not hearsay.
And you're telling us how to basically do our investigation or our job.
No.
And you're just a third party involved in this.
No, Chelsea made some statements to me.
Second of all, you have somebody that went there to maybe pick up items. Was he given the items? Did he go in there and take items? I don't know.
Exactly.
And so, but you're just telling me right now, no, he was just given medication.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. What I said was you don't know. Because you told me.
You have to look at all the facts.
Yes, but sir, you're telling me.
And gather all the evidence.
Yes, but you already told me this would be a hard case to prove because maybe Matt went and took some. And what I said to you is you don't know whether Matt went in anywhere or whether Chelsea gave him things. I don't know that either.
But that's not what you said. You said Chelsea may have just given him medication.
No, I said specifically, you don't know whether Matt...
But you said they backed the truck up and they took everything.
No, that happened on the Monday. That happened on Monday. And so there are people there who saw that. There are people
saying certain things, this is how it went, when you don't know either.
Well, what I do know is Melody has the photographs, and you can probably get the name of the people.
And that's why I said we can run it up to see if the state's attorney thinks there's theft or something.
But
you're trying to tell me this is how it happened.
It is how it happened. There are multiple witnesses.
I wasn't there either.
But the issue, sir, is...
So you have to gather that evidence.
But I don't have to gather that.
I'm not saying you. We have to gather that.
Well, then talk to the people and don't automatically assume I'm lying.
If you don't have video camera, if you don't have anything...
They have video camera.
You're going off what Matt may say, and we don't know what Matt's going to say or what he did there or how he got property or whether he was given property and he kept things of his own.
Wow.
You don't know that.
Of course.
You were to actually steal some of her stuff.
Of course.
But you're disagreeing.
No, when you tell me this would be hard to prove, what I know is there's a lot you don't know yet. And so whether it would be hard to prove or not, I don't know. It might be hard to prove, but there might be people who would testify that took the photographs of the van, that saw what happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens. This testimony is what makes cases. If you talk to Matt, and I'm not saying this should be really high priority on your list, but if you talk to Matt might say, I went there and I know Chelsea and this is what she gave me. Or he might say, she gave me 6 bags and I kept 5 of them. I would find that hard to believe because what Chelsea told you was that she was told that Melody didn't want the rest of the stuff. And what we do know is Melody did not tell her that, and Melody never agreed to that. And I could tell you from knowing Melody for years, she would never agree to that. But you have a witness right here that says, I never gave permission to get rid of my property. And what you also are now aware of is she was there from April. So it was way over 30 days. And if there is a requirement that a property owner...
If they paid since April for that whole time period, then technically they would have had to store the property for a certain amount of time.
So they did.
And then give her notice to come and get it, just like a landlord did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I'm telling you...
if they disposed of it and got rid of it, which is what they're claiming...
No, she told me. This is, I am a witness. no, it is not a civil issue when you take somebody's property that you don't have the authority to take and you dispose of it. That is not a civil issue.
If
It's a
she was
theft.
there for 6 months straight, or whatever the case
Well,
was,
4 months, yes.
just like if I rented an apartment from
Exactly.
you, and then you threw my stuff out after I moved out or was evicted or left, and you didn't give me notice for 30 days.
Right.
And I called the police would say, you have to go after your landlord civilly.
I understand that, sir. But in this instance, it's not that they put the stuff out by the side of the apartment or the cabin, and so she could have come and gotten it. They personally removed the property to a vehicle that they own. And Chelsea, I'm a witness, Chelsea told me they made a special dump run. She told me.
I understand all
right, but so I'm saying is, but the issue, no, it's not a civil issue. No,
okay. We'll go back to agree to disagree.
Right.
Do what you need to do with your
Right.
paperwork. We'll let the state's attorneys decide.
Okay, sure.
And then we'll go from there.
Sure, absolutely. But I would, and I know there's been it's not just here in Vermont, there's been a whole lot of discussion with people who have housing that actually do get evicted and the whole eviction process and how things have worked, that there's parts of the system that are broken. And I know for landlords, there's parts of the system that are broken where they aren't able to get people out that have been there for months and months and months, and it takes a while to do that. So it's just that, so I know the police are in a hard spot in terms of how do we get involved? But what did happen, at least in my view, and you may not agree with this, is you guys got played. You sent 2 officers there. You took the time of your staff, and my bet is you don't have a lot of staff. My bet is you are not overloaded with police officers, because as I understand it, police forces all across the state are short of people. That you sent 2 officers to remove somebody that actually had permission to be there until September 23rd. So,
and again, that's something where we would have to confirm how we're conducting services.
right.
You do that before you attack people,
for
though.
sure. And it just is, I feel badly. I think I told you, I was a former assistant attorney general. I did cases for social services. I freed kids for adoption. I did that for 11 years. I actually grew up in the public defender's office and in St. John's where I didn't go to law school. So I've been 20 years ago. I haven't been a lawyer for over 20 years. Thank God. I feel freed. But, I know what a hard job police officers have to do. And I know from various contacts the police has been shorthanded for decades. Maybe not here in Barre. Maybe you've had a good run here. But so when I see people using the police to their own personal ends and wasting taxpayer, I'm also a fiscal conservative. I was on the select board in Plainfield for 6 years. I am a left-wing liberal, and I'm a fiscal conservative. That's what I ran on. I said that's who I am. So I want to see money spent well. I don't want to see whether it's you guys or whether it's public works or whatever. I don't want to see them getting played and using their money in a way that's not reasonable. Because I'm always amazed. I have to say, I drive through Barre and I go, because I come the back way, Cutler Corner Road. Man, look at this paving. I never thought I would care about infrastructure until I was on the select board. Then you go wow, what's their tax base? How do they have paving all the way up Washington Street, But I know that the money's always short. There's never enough. And so, seeing what happened here and having known Melody for years and just seeing how there's lots less things that have just devastated her than this, but this has been pretty devastating.
So Melanie, what you want to do is send us that photo.
Okay.
So you can put it in a text message and write it in an email.
Okay.
Set a phone number.
Do I send you all the stuff of them soliciting me for my stuff as well? Like that they wanted whether it be food and medication.
Fill out a statement.
Okay.
Under penalties of perjury that this is what
I have the screenshots of them doing that and Chelsea
send
being
those
involved.
and the message to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you have a list of items or you know what the items were that
I took pictures of it and filmed
just
before I
write it
left.
down on your statement along with the dollar amount.
Oh, well, thank you. I
That's a lot.
Like,
I know
the air mattress,
it's
for
really hard
example,
for
if
us,
that
so I was
costs
gonna
you
do is
$50,
like
just write it down.
So my aunt bought it with her Social Security for a birthday gift for my son, and it was. So I'll still have. I have there's an electronic confirmation of how much it costs and when we got it for his birthday. It was like she sent a Target gift card sort of thing.
But it has some kind of value.
Yeah, it does. So it is around $100. So yeah. So thank you all. Like I try to like wave whenever I see you all out in Barre. I know you all are like I don't want to be on any bad terms or okay. So I'm sorry. All right, thank you. Okay, but I'm not from here either, and so Barre is kind of a culture shock. And it's a rough place to feel stuck, basically. And so there is a lot that happens that you guys, you're aware of in like the grand scheme, but you don't see it firsthand, kind of thing. And it's alarming, just people's behavior and how. You know what I mean? How they get away with doing things that are wrong to people, and so I know that you all are trying to do the best that you can, and so I appreciate you taking the time.
So,
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
I'm seriously impaired.
Okay.
I know that.
So and even when I lived on Church Street, like before I gained any kind of rapport with officers there, and I just moved to Barre, and I realized when you guys show up, you can't just be like, oh, good guy, bad guy. You have to wrap your mind around what's happening. Yeah, exactly. But sometimes it's not only I'm not the only victim kind of thing, but I'm in a position of sticking up for people.
Might want to follow up on is Melody said one of the cabins, not the 4A that she was in, had a broken pipe.
That's what the
and
neighbor said
sewage
too.
that was running out, which is a health issue. And you might, I don't know what the process would be, we reported to a health officer to go out and look. She said it didn't come down to her cabin, but it was an ongoing issue. I don't know if it's currently an issue, but if it is an issue, that doesn't sound healthy to me to have.
Yeah, the health officer, City Hall, they have to look into that.
Yeah, so you would be the ones to contact them and say they would want to.
It was bad. It was like poop coming out of like sewage coming out of the ground there. So and I think that the neighbor who used to own the mill tried to explain to you guys that there was a problem, that the place wasn't up to code with the water pipe. He was talking about it's not language that I understand because I'm not a plumber, but there's something like legitimately wrong with it, and they would leave notes that we weren't allowed to like do normal things like flush down toilet paper, like nothing down the toilets, and economic services said that they're not allowed to do that, but there are real bad problems there with the plumbing. So
it's something that the health officer and the fire marshal will look into.
Okay, all right,
So
thank you.
I just want to let you know about that.
Okay.
And I just learned about that this morning. It's not like we're trying to like dribble things out, but I completely forgot about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill out this $30,000 and then I'm going to get a copy. So maybe 2 copies so she can get one to economic services as well. And so thank you for listening. And I know you got a lot to do and you've already taken a lot of time with us. So.
That's what we're here for.
Thank you.
So how was the weekend? Did you have too much to do on the weekend?
That's not bad. No, it was just a bus on Saturday, and there wasn't a whole heck of a lot going on. Yesterday didn't seem too bad for you guys.
Well, I called before we came over, and I talked to your dispatcher, and I said, so was there stuff going? Because Melody had asked me if I would come down here, and I started thinking, oh my God, it's Labor Day weekend. That he may be starting out dealing with something or other, and I couldn't find it. I looked online, and I couldn't find any list of things going on, so I called, and they said, no, nothing going on today.
Yeah, no, it's been mellow so far, but it's also doing all the weekend, and we got like sheriffs out and doing like UI campaigns and stuff like that. So it kind of, there's more of a, what's the word, more saturated. There's more people around, so it's saturated, so people might behave a little more because the sheriffs are going up with that.
Yeah,
I don't know, when I was on the select board, we have a real problem. And we're almost all dirt roads, and people, I understand from people in town that they go like 60 miles an hour, and we pay for something like $10,000 worth of sheriff's coverage. Of course, it's not very much. So I don't know if this Brett Meyer came over, I think it was this is a couple of years ago. He was giving like his annual report, and I'm like advocating, give them all tickets. And he goes,